Mr. Mike. Let's draw with Mr. Mike. D-R-A-W with M-R-M-I-K-E.
Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Mike here. We are going to draw a house today. Now, how many of my friends know how to draw a house? Some of you may know how to draw a house. Some of you may not. We are going to learn how to draw this house here. Okay, so it's a little different than a typical house that you draw. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to add on a roof. We're going to put it in a setting. We're going to put some bushes on the side of it and a tree next to it. Okay, and then maybe we will make all different colored houses. Maybe your house will look a little different than mine. And I hope it does, because your house is your house and my house is mine. So they all are different, just like us. So we are going to use these basic lines and shapes to create this house. And there are not many shapes and lines here. We have a square, a rectangle, an arc, a line, and a circle. And let's see how all of this fits together to make our house. Okay, now, as I tell all of my friends, it's important to pick art materials that are right for you. So if you like to use an oil pastel, then you should use an oil pastel. If you like to use colored pencils, then by all means, use your colored pencils. If you like to use crayons, wait, I've got more crayons, then you should draw with crayons, or even markers. Look at all these. Oh, that's not a marker. Get out of there, gel crayon. Wait your turn. Okay, we've got markers here. And of course, now's your turn, gel crayon. We've got gel crayons. We've also got a paint stick and good old trusty pencil. Okay, so you use any art materials that you're comfortable with. But this is very important. Maybe you've been using markers for all of your drawings, and you've never, ever, 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 ever tried to use a gel crayon. Well, if you have the opportunity to use a gel crayon, try it out. You may like it a whole bunch. You may like it more than markers. I know I like drawing with gel crayons a whole bunch. I like drawing with markers too, but I've tried a whole bunch of different art materials, and I know different things that I like to draw with, and maybe there's different textures that one art material gives that another does not. So I try different things, and it's important for all of us to try different things. Okay, so let's get drawing our house. I'm going to get a clean sheet of paper here. I'm going to put my reference drawing over to the side and clear out all of this stuff. All right, here we go. So I'm going to use a marker, as always, so that it's nice and easy for you and all the viewers to see what I'm drawing, okay? So let's take out Mr. Purple Marker, and let's start right about here, maybe a little bit to the side. We'll go a little bit to the side. So not right in the center, but a little bit over to the left, so we have room for our tree over here. And we're going to draw, now, see how this kind of looks like a square, but there's no top line here. So we're going to take 3 lines, okay? 3 lines, and we're going to make the base, the main part of the house. Okay, so we'll do the wall here, down, and then over, and then up. Okay, and we're not going to draw this line here. We're not completing a square. Okay, then we're going to take 2 more lines, 2, and we'll draw them from here in the middle down on an angle. 1, and then 2, and already we drew an arrow. Well, no, it looks like it's a house. It's a house. But it looks like it could be an arrow, huh? Yeah, I want to go that way. Okay, so now we're going to add on the top part of the roof because we're going to give it a little bit of depth. So we'll add in another line that's parallel to the bottom one and just follows along. And it means, parallel means it's the same distance here. It follows along the same distance all the way across. It's the same distance here as the same distance here. And there's a straight line here on an angle and a straight line here on an angle. And then we'll do the same thing, bring that up a little bit. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So now we'll make a parallel line down this side. Okay, and then we'll close it off at the bottom with a short line here and a short line here. And there is our roof. We have a house, we have a roof, and now we need a way to get into that house. How are we going to get into the house? How do you get into a house? You walk up on the path, and speaking of paths, let's put one right here. Let's make an arc, and then another arc here. Now we're walking up to the path. We're walking, and we go up to the door. We go up to the door, and we knock on the door. And what shape should that door be? I think a rectangle. Let's make that door a rectangle. And we'll make a rectangle right here. There is our door. Now we have a way to get into the house. So let's put a doorknob, which is going to be a circle, a small circle right here. Okay? So now we have a way to open the door. We can open the door and go inside, and when we go inside a house, we want to be able to look out of the house. So, and we also want to let light in, because if we go into this house right now, it's going to be a little dark because there's no windows. Let's add a window in. We'll put a square right next to the door here. Let's put a nice window here, and then we'll put a little line here and then here, and that looks like a window at my house. Very nice. Okay, and at the top we can add another window. We'll use an arc with a line across the bottom to finish it off, and now we have a window at the top. Okay, and now we can add in the front lawn. We need some grass around the house. So we can use a series of short lines to make it look like there's grass. So all we're going to do is line, 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 and you can change the rotation of these lines to make it look like they're little tiny blades of grass. And they don't have to be perfectly straight. You can make some of them a little curved, like arcs, or you can make them straight if you want. Do whatever you want. This is your house. You can do whatever you want. I'm just guiding you to make a full scene with the house. Okay? Now, I mentioned that tree next to the house. How tall would that tree be? Where do we want? We want a big tree next to the house. There's a big pine tree in front of my house. So that was my idea for making this pine tree. So we'll use a series of arcs to make it look like a pine tree. So we do an arc here at the top, and then another one on the opposite side, okay? And then we'll do a series of arcs down all the way to about here. So I'll even add one at the bottom, and I know we're not going to go any further than this. So we can go arc, 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 already arc, 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 arc. And now on the opposite side, we'll do the same thing. And again, it's nice to make sound effects when we draw. Arc, 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 arc. Okay, so now that we have all of our arcy arc arcs, we're going to just add in two more, one here, and then we'll add in the trunk of the tree, which is going to be 2 lines. One here, and then one here. So now we have our house, we have our tree. Let's make some bushes on the side of the house, right over here. Okay? We can use our friend the arc again. The arc is very versatile. We can do arcs to make it look like there's different size bushes here, and I want you to vary the size of your arcs. So some are big, some are small, some are medium, and just make it look like there are some bushes on the side. And you can do it on this side too, maybe a little bit, a bunch of arcs here, make it look like there's bushes. And we could even, if you want, I think this looks so nice, let's continue and make more of them right over here, just to finish off the whole scene right here across. Okay? Fantastic, everyone. Now, I thought that maybe we can do the same thing that we did with the bushes. We can put a cloud in the sky. and you make a cloud the same way we do that, except we connect it all the way around. So again, we're going to use the arc, and we'll vary the size of the arc. Some will be big, and some will be small. And every one of our clouds is going to look a little different, because I draw a little different than you do, and you draw a little different than your friend does, and we all draw in our unique way. So your cloud will look a little different than mine. And that's good. We want it to look different because we want your art to look like it came from you, not from me. So let's add another cloud over here. I'll make another arc here, and then continue going all the way around with big arcs and little arcs until you finish your cloud. Now we have two clouds, our house, a tree, some bushes, some grass, and a path to get to our house. I think this looks fantastic. I'm going to add in one last piece, and that will be a sun. I'm going to put the sun right here. This will be a circle with some sun rays, and the sun rays will be lines that radiate from the middle. So imagine the center right here of the circle, and then we take an invisible line that goes up all the way. So imagine that there is, I'm going to get my pencil so I can point easier. Imagine there's a center right here, and then there is a line that comes up here, and then we're going to do that all the way around. Every line will point toward the center. Okay, so let's do that. We can do it out here. Point toward the center of the circle. And you're not continuing it all the way to here because you want it to look like it's coming off of the circle. You can have it touch the circle if you want, but don't have it go through the circle. So it looks like the light is coming away from the circle, which is the sun. And look at that. Just like that, we have a whole scene. You made a whole scene of a house today. Look at that. Now we're going to color it in. So get out the rest of your art materials that you're going to use to color, and we're going to fill in the color for our house. What color is your house going to be? Now, I think I'm going to make my house yellow, because I live in a yellow house, so I'm going to make a yellow house. I'm going to get out my yellow paint stick for coloring. So I will twist this to make some of the paint come up, and I will fill in some color here. That's a good yellow. That's the same yellow I'm going to use for the sun. Okay, look at this. This is already going to be a bright and cheery picture. It's going to make my mood bright and cheery because I'm using bright and cheery colors. Now, what color door will I have? I'm going to save that for the sun when I go to the sun. Door, I think I will put a red door. I'm going to use this gel crayon for the red door. You don't have to use the same colors that I'm using. In fact, I would love it if you use different colors. I would like you to pick your favorite colors to make your house. I think that's important when we draw, that we use the colors that we feel comfortable with or we feel a connection to. For the roof, do I have a gray? I'll use brown. I'll use this brown color for the roof. Okay, here we go. Just fill that in. Look at that. And since I have it out, I'm going to color the trunk of the tree the same color brown. Look at that. And now I'm going to use this green paint stick to color in the grass. And remember, this is a bright green, and I want bright green grass. So I'm going to color in all around. And I'm scribbling. I'm not filling in all the space with the green color, so that I can make it look as if there's more grass. So I'm just kind of doing light scribbles like this around, and it makes it look like there's more grass. There's more texture of the grass. And there's more blades of grass. Okay? I'm almost done with the grass. And next, we'll pick a different green for the bushes. So, what color green? Now I have, let's see, let's get all the green colors out, and we're going to get another sheet of paper because I want to show something. Let's get a clean sheet of paper. Let's put this aside. Now we can see I have 4 different greens here. Okay, I have 2 gel crayons and 2 paint sticks, and I want to test what color each one actually makes. So here is the paint stick. Let's put that right next to it. And then here is another paint stick. This is obviously a darker green. Okay, but let's see how dark it is. That's not as dark as I expected it to be. Okay, now let's see this green. What color is this going to be? Oh, this is a dark green, an even darker green. Okay, and then let's see how dark this is. Oh, this is a different color green. Now, you see, this case that the gel crayon is in looks much different than the color green that it made. The same thing here. I think this is the closest one. So we know that we have 4 different color greens, and we have a lot of different spots that we could put green in our drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these off to the side so I know what color goes with what art material. And we already used this one. I'm going to use this one here for the pine tree. So let's take this off. I'm going to use this for the pine tree. I'm just going to color this in like this. Now look at that. That looks like a pine tree to me. That is the right color green for that tree. Excellent. Okay, so now I'm going to use this color for the bushes. Okay, so watch this. Now this is another color green for the bushes. How cool. I'm making a very interesting drawing with color because I'm changing the colors. And even though there's a lot of green, it's all different kinds of green. And that makes the drawing more interesting. Now you remember, this green here, this green, this doesn't look like the case that it's in. It's a little darker. It's closer to this green, but it's still a little different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this with some light scribbles with this green. Let's see what that does. Okay? Oh my goodness. It makes it look like there's some texture here. And all I'm doing is I'm just doing little loops like this. Little scribble loops. Okay? And if you just layer that over and over again, it just adds more texture and lets some of the other color through. So I'm not coloring real hard on top and filling in all the color. I'm leaving open spaces so we can see some of the other color come out. And that creates a very interesting texture and makes for a very interesting drawing. When we layer our color and allow other color to come through beneath it. Isn't that cool? Look at this. This whole scene is shaping up pretty nice. Now, what color path should I create? Let's see, what other colors do I have? Let's move all the greens away. Now that we're done with the green, let's move this away. And let's get this, I'm going to use this light brown crayon. Maybe it is stone, maybe it's dirt, I don't know. But I don't want it to be too dark because I don't want it to draw too much attention. If the color is a lot darker, like that red door, I immediately look at that red door because it's the most dominant color. It's very interesting. It draws my attention immediately. So this light path takes us and leads us to the door, and that door is the big interest because I want to get to the house and I want to get inside. Now we can fill in some color and put in the sky, and then we can finish off with our sun. So let's use this blue color here, and then we can fill in the sky. Now pay attention, and you may have heard me talk about this in other episodes of Draw with Mr. Mike. This blue looks dark, but watch what happens when I color. It's not dark, it's a lot lighter, and it is an excellent color for the sky. So I think this is interesting that the outside of the color looks different than the color that actually comes out on the paper. And I already know that because I tested it out. I think I've done this in a couple different episodes, but most recently I did it in the doggy episode where I looked at the color blue from the paint stick and I tested it on a sheet of paper just like we just did with the green, just to see what it would look like when I used that color to make sure it wouldn't be too dark, because I didn't want a dark blue to be the sky. And you can do that with your art materials. You can always get another piece of paper and test out and see what color is it going to be. Is it the color that I want? Because a lot of times you may have a color in mind and you may want a certain color to come out on the paper, but when you go and do it, it looks a little different, and that may not be the color that you want. So it's nice to test things out first on another sheet of paper so we don't make a mistake that we could have avoided by just testing it out. And there's lots of ways to get around those mistakes too, so don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes sometimes can be really good. They can be frustrating, but they can be good types of things that can happen with mistakes. So now I'm just going to finish this up. Finish up the sky, and then I will get to the yellow for the sun. Just put this aside here. And then we're just going to add in the yellow, and now we've got a sun. Oh, right there. Now, we've got a scene. We have a finished scene with our house. What does your house look like? What color did you make your house? Does it look just like the house that you live in? Is it the same color, or is it a different house? Share your art with me, okay? Go to drawwithmrmike.com, and there is an email address on there that is contact@drawwithmrmike.com. You can just click on it, and then you can have your parents take a picture of your art and email it to me, and then I'll share it either back here behind me, or I'll put it on my Instagram page. I would love to see the house that you made. Thank you so much for drawing with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Draw with Mr. Mike. Let's draw with Mr. Mike. DRAW with MRMIKE.